Hello friends, myself R.D. Mahajan, Assistant Professor, MIT Aurangabad. Today I am presenting my video on the topic Fourier cosine transform. Like Fourier sine transform, we try to discuss Fourier cosine transform. Fourier cosine transform is given by fc lambda. C stands for suffix C stands for cosine transform is equals to root 2 by pi integral from 0 to infinity f of u cos of lambda u du. When we require to find cosine transform, we have to multiply this function by cosine term cos of lambda u. For the condition u greater than or equals to 0, means u lies between 0 to infinity. Let us see the first example. Find the Fourier cosine transform of f of x is equals to e raised to minus x with the condition x greater than or equals to 0. Solution for that, given f of x is equals to e raised to minus x, x greater than or equals to 0, then Fourier cosine transform is given by or obtained by formula fc lambda is equals to root 2 by pi integral from 0 to infinity f of u cos of lambda u du. And therefore, performing the calculation, it is equals to root 2 by pi integral from 0 to infinity f of u, replacing x by u here, it becomes e raised to minus u cos of lambda u du. And then performing the integration by applying standard result, we know that integration of e raised to ax cos of bx dx is equals to e raised to ax divided by a square plus b square into a cos bx plus b sin of bx. We have to apply the standard result for integration. And therefore, comparing these two results, we get x is equals to u, integration with respect to u, e raised to x, a coefficient of u in this term is minus 1, b cos of bx, coefficient of u lambda. These are the values of a, b, and therefore it is equals to root 2 by pi as it is, e raised to x means e raised to minus u, a square plus b square minus 1 square is 1, b square lambda square, a minus 1 cos of bx cos of lambda u, then plus b lambda sin of lambda u, outer bracket close, and limits from 0 to infinity. Substituting the upper and lower limit for u, when we put upper limit as infinity, it becomes e raised to minus infinity. We know that e raised to minus infinity is 0. And when we substitute the lower limit, we get e raised to 0 as 1. And therefore, using this two standard values, we get root 2 by pi e raised to minus infinity is 0. 0 into anything we get 0. For upper limit we get 0. Minus lower limit e raised to 0 as 1 divided by 1 plus lambda square. Cos 0 is 1, therefore minus 1. Sin 0 is 0. And therefore, if we simplify it, this minus minus will become plus. We get root 2 by pi multiplied by 1 upon 1 plus lambda square as the required Fourier cosine transform or the required answer. Again 1, 2, 3 steps. Very simple to perform if we know this standard result. We are applying the standard result for the integration of e raised to x cos bx dx as e raised to x upon a square plus b square. A cos bx, first term is cos, second term with sine, middle term with plus sign. Comparing these two results, we get the values of a, b. Substituting the values and substituting the limits, upper limit as infinity, lower limit as 0. For upper limit, it becomes e raised to minus infinity at 0. For lower limit, e raised to 0 is 1. And then if we simplify it, we get the required result. This is the Fourier cosine transform for that given function. Find the Fourier cosine transform of f of x as x square for the condition 0 less than or equal to x less than or equals to 1, and the second value is 0 for x greater than 1. Means the total range is from 0 to infinity, and we require to find Fourier cosine transform. Given f of x as first value x square, condition 0 less than or equal to x less than or equals to 1, second value is 0 for x greater than 1, and we require to find Fourier cosine transform. Therefore fc lambda is equals to root 2 by pi integral from 0 to infinity f of u cos of lambda u du. It is equals to root 2 by pi. Splitting this integral as 0 to 1 and then 1 to infinity. Therefore 0 to 1 and 1 to infinity. 0 to 1, the function value is x square. Replacing x by u, we get u square cos of lambda u. Second value is 0 between 1 to infinity. Therefore 0 into cos of lambda u du. It is equals to root 2 by pi. Integrating this by generalized parts, as it is a product of two terms of u. First one is algebraic, second one is trigonometric. Therefore this must be the first term. Integration of second, integration of cos sin lambda u divided by lambda, then minus derivative of u square 2u, integration of sine minus cos lambda u divided by lambda and this previous lambda, it becomes lambda square. Then plus derivative of 2u with respect to u, 2. Next integration of cos sine with this minus sign, therefore it is minus sine lambda u divided by lambda cube. Next derivative is 0. We stop here and limits from 0 to 1. Substituting the upper limit for u as 1, we get root 2 by pi. Here it is 1 square 1 sine of lambda divided by lambda minus minus plus 2 cos lambda divided by lambda square minus 2 sin lambda divided by lambda cube. These three terms for the upper limit minus lower limit. Lower limit for u as 0, this term becomes 0, this term becomes 0, therefore 0, 0, sin 0, 0. And then simplifying it by finding the LCM of lambda, lambda square and lambda cube as lambda cube root 2 by pi as it is. Dividing by lambda we get lambda square remains. Multiply by that we get here lambda square sin lambda. Dividing by lambda square, lambda remains. Multiplying by that we get 2 lambda cos lambda. Dividing by lambda cube, 1 remains. 1 into this we get minus 2 sin lambda and divided by lambda cube is the required Fourier cosine transform. Therefore, again, first step splitting this, second step integrating it with respect to u by applying integration by generalized part, and then substituting the upper limit minus lower limit and simplify it by finding LCM. Whatever the last step we have, it is the required Fourier cosine transform. One more, find Fourier cosine transform of fx is equals to cos of x condition 0 less than or equal to x less than or equals to a, and second value is 0 for x greater than e, means from a to infinity. Therefore, again the total range is 0 to infinity and we require to find Fourier cosine transform. Therefore, that Fourier cosine transform is given by fc lambda is equals to root 2 by pi integral from 0 to infinity f of u into cos of lambda u, and then it is equals to splitting this integral 0 to infinity as 0 to a and then a to infinity. Therefore, first 0 to a, in 0 to a that function is cos x, replacing x by u we get cos u multiplied by cos of lambda u, then a to infinity, its value is 0 into cos of lambda u, then this term becomes 0. We have this term becomes 0. Therefore, we have first term as integral from 0 to a cos u cos lambda u multiplying by 2 and dividing by 2, Then applying formula 2 cos A cos B as cos A plus B plus cos A minus B, limit from 0 to A, integral from 0 to A cos of 1 plus lambda times u plus cos of 1 minus lambda times u, integrating cos as sine 1 plus lambda times u divided by coefficient of u as 1 plus lambda, integration of this term as sine of 1 minus lambda times u divided by 1 minus lambda, and limits from 0 to a, and therefore we get as 1 by 2 root 2 by pi, substituting the limit upper as a, we get here sine of 1 plus lambda times e divided by 1 plus e, 1 plus lambda plus sine of 1 minus lambda e divided by 1 minus lambda, and for lower limit it is sine 0 0 and again sine 0 0, therefore minus 0. This is the required Fourier cosine transform of the given function fx is equals to cos x 0 to a, and second value 0 for x greater than a. Therefore, once again I will repeat the steps. Splitting that integral as 0 to a and a to infinity. For 0 to a, the value is cos x, means it becomes cos u when it is f of u, multiplied by cos lambda u. Direct integration is not possible, therefore we multiply it by 2 and divide by 2, so that no change. Applying standard trigonometric formula 2 cos A cos B as cos A plus B plus cos A minus B, integrating each term with respect to u, we get sine 1 plus lambda times u divided by 1 plus lambda, sine 1 minus lambda times u divided by 1 minus lambda, and limit from 0 to a, substituting the upper limit and substituting the lower limit as sine 0 0, for lower limit it becomes 0, and whatever the last step we have, that is the required Fourier cosine transform. Therefore, with the help of this 3 simple example, I try to explain how we can obtain Fourier cosine transform. Some more I will discuss in next part. Therefore, if you are watching my videos, please like as well as share it and subscribe to my channel for latest updates. Thank you.